Hey, salon owners, today is not just another episode. Today is history in the making. Because what we're talking about is something the beauty industry has never had before. It's not a class, it's not a technique, it's not more motivation. It's actually a new category, a breakthrough no one else has built. And if you've ever felt like, my team is good, but they're not fully activated, I know we could be more consistent. We're close to greatness, but we're not there yet. Then lean in because what we're launching isn't incremental, it's actually revolutionary. And you're early enough to be part of it.
Yeah, see, most of the industry keeps teaching the same old thing: technique, a little marketing, more technique, but if technique alone created success, every stylist would be wealthy. But we both know that's not true because success doesn't come from skill alone, it comes from identity, communication, sales psychology, guest experience, and alignment. And no one is teaching team based salons how to create that identity intentionally until now. $1 Million Beauty Pro is not about adding more work, it's about changing the beauty pro completely. Not incremental growth, but an exponential shift.
Mm. So here's the real breakthrough. Booth runners cannot be successful because they operate as individuals. Let me say that again because it's so good. Booth runners cannot be successful because they operate as individuals, but team based salons succeed through multiplication and creating an environment where people win. One forces or one grows through force. You think, okay, what is force, Jen? Force is power made operative against resistance. And so force is exhausting, you guys. Force is survival, force is pressure. Booth rent is built on one person doing 100% of the work. You force yourself to find every client, you force yourself to book every appointment, you force yourself to manage your own marketing, you force yourself to build or buy your own color, you force yourself to create systems you've never been trained to build, you force yourself to handle complaints, cancellations, and pricings, and you force yourself to stay productive even on your worst days. So booth rent is literally, listen up, you versus the world. You survive because of force, but your energy, your motivation, your grind, your hustle, and the moment you stop pushing, your income actually drops. That is truly force.
Yeah. Man, that's so good when you think about that, Jen, how
Mm.
forceful it is, because the opposite of that would be, how team based salons operate. And that's that they grow through power. And you might be thinking, what is power? But power is the ability or capacity to act or do something effectively. Whew, that's good. The ability or capacity to act or do something effectively. Power truly is the system supports you. Power is ease, power is momentum, power is multiplication. And team based salons run on systems which create shared marketing, shared reputation, shared demand, shared education, shared growth, shared guest experience, shared problem solving, shared support, and a structure that continues whether one person is having a bad day or not. And power means you're plugged into a machine that multiplies your effort. If you take a vacation, power keeps your schedule full. If you're having an off week, power still drives referrals. If you're learning, power accelerates your skill, your confidence, and really your overall growth. And team based salons use systems, processes, leadership, mentorship, brands their brand identity, data to move you further with less strain. That's power. Booth rent is a force-based model. You push, you get results. You stop pushing, everything stops. And a team based salon is a power based model. The systems, the brand, the leadership, that is the engine. So when you plug into that engine, everything multiplies. And this program finally gives team based salons the multiplier.
Mhm. Oh, so good. I got chills just with everything you just said, Lindsay. It was so good, because if you truly think about it, this program is going to help service providers see clearly why commission salon is more powerful. Say
Mhm.
what? Isn't that so cool? Like they make more money together. The guest gets a better experience together. Growth compounds together, and for the first time service providers will feel it, they'll understand it, and they'll actually buy in, not because you ask them to, but because they experience the truth of it themselves. There is a law in the universe. When something isn't intentionally developed, it actually declines. It's called the law of entropy, and it's why salon culture slowly erodes, why standards slip, why service providers drift, or why good team members plateau, and why booth renters seem attractive, or booth renting seems attractive too, until it
Mhm.
collapses under isolation. No growth, decline starts. No leadership, chaos creeps in. No development, confidence fades. That's why, drum roll, $1 Million Beauty Pro is the antidote to entropy. It gives your team structure, identity, direction, activation, and it stops the slow decline and replaces it with this unstoppable momentum. Because when people grow, the business grows. And when the business grows, everyone wins.
So good, and let's be real for a moment. There's one thing quietly killing salons, and that's that complacency is disguised as comfort. It's like when a stylist thinks, I know enough, or when owners think, we're doing fine, or when no one is hungry for better. Jen, it's just what you were talking about with the law of entropy, because
Mhm.
entropy does what entropy always does. And the salon slowly, silently slides backward. But leaders who choose growth, they break that pattern. And teams who rise in skill, they break that pattern. And
Mhm.
cultures built on communication and confidence, they're the ones who break that pattern. And $1 Million Beauty Pro was created to replace complacency with capability.
Mm, so good. So I was thinking about we've had the opportunity to launch $1 Million Beauty Pro in our salon, and we just had a success story the other day from one of our stylists. Shout out to Alize, one of our service providers, beauty pros. She's one of our new level one. Service providers or beauty pros, and she had just watched the pixie cut lesson inside the portal during some of her downtime, and she came to me and ran to the office, and the next day she said, Jen, you'll never believe it, guess what showed up on my books the next day? And I was like, what? Tell me all about it. She's like, a pixie appointment. And if you've cut hair before, the pixie makes you want to run out the front door, usually when you first started cutting hair. And she said, but guess what? It was the best pixie I've ever done. And she said, I finally felt confident. I felt like I had this roadmap. So, you guys, imagine if your whole team had breakthroughs like that weekly. Another service provider in our team, her name's Laura. I walked to the back room and she had two full notebook pages full of the law of polarity lesson. And I asked her, I said, Laura, what did you learn? And she got out her notes. She was so excited because if you know Laura, she's not your normal note taker. She said, I finally understand that my beliefs come from what I choose to focus on, the problem or the possibility. And it's like her mind had expanded, her responsibility expanded, her power had expanded. And it's just been so incredible to see these wins.
Jen, that is so amazing. Great job to both of those um, beautiful people on your team. It really makes me think of Riley on our team here. We also got the opportunity to launch Million Dollar Beauty Pro in the salon just really recently. And it was Riley's, I think it was like her fourth shift behind the chair. And, she watched a training video and sold $350 worth of retail
Wow.
in one shift. I mean, the joy on her face when she was talking about it, it was on a Saturday that happened. And on Monday, she was just so excited. That was like one of the first things. I actually overheard her telling her co-stylist that had happened. And I was like, tell me all about it, and we were really excited and got to celebrate her in our huddle that morning. But the reason why this happened was not by force, you guys, it was truly by power. And this is not normal training inside of this program. This is transformation. And here's the crazy part, that's just the beginning. Like, we're just in the beginning and we're getting ready to have a launch party. And guess what? You're invited. And at the launch party, we're revealing why most salons plateau and how to shatter the ceiling and the psychology behind effortless sales and the words that increase pre-booking without trying and why commission salons outperform booth rent long term. We're also revealing the hidden identity upgrade that changes everything and how to activate an entire team and not just have one superstar. We're also going to go over the breakthrough strategy for eliminating inconsistency forever. And trust me, you do
Mm.
not want to miss these. Some of the things that we're dropping have never been taught publicly before.
Mhm. So if you want to lead the next era of salon growth, not follow the old one, and if you want to build a team of power, not pressure, of confidence, not chaos, of professionals, not technicians, then you need to be at the launch party. So text launch, LAUNCH, to 469 283 5590. Again, that's 469-283-5590. And we'll send you the launch party registration, the free launch kit, early access surprises, and more we haven't even announced yet. And so if your heart said yes, even a little, follow it. If you felt possibility open, step towards it. And if you know your salon is meant for more, act now. Again, text launch to 469 283 283 5590. Because entropy ends here, you guys. Growth begins here, and the $1 million era of your salon starts now.